Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Jermal, you're in the building.
Mm-hmm.
I am so happy, so excited. We're finally going to get our first interview.
Yes, yes.
All right. Where are you coming in from tonight?
I'm coming in from Toronto, man. It's all over the place. It's been quite a day. It's been a long day, but it's good though. It's good though. Nonetheless, I'm here. It's been a while, so I'm just happy to be here.
It's amazing.
Thank you for the invite.
Of course, of course. You are my how do I say this? So Jermal was my first successful grant application.
Mm-hmm.
So he popped my cherry in grant writing. Okay.
Yeah.
So I could never leave him out ever in our life.
I appreciate that.
All right.
I appreciate that.
So I'm so happy, so excited. Where did you grow up?
Born in Ottawa, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't spend a lot of time there.
Oh, okay.
Not a lot of time there.
Okay.
Came to Toronto, lived in the West End for a short bit, but for the most part, been East Side. Not Scarborough, like more Northwick, East Side. That's where I've been. Enjoyed
Wow.
it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
So, but I remember when we worked together, you were doing a lot of East End gigs and
Yeah. And again, it's one of those things that wherever the opportunity was, they just happened to be in the East End a lot. But again, though, yeah, when you and I had connected, and shout out Sosa too for making that.
I know.
For making that connection.
Big up.
Yeah. She sent me a message. Said, "Yo, message AK. She gets the job done."
Oh,
that was it.
Big up Sosa.
But again, though, yeah, at that time, just coincidentally, that's just where the gigs happened to be. But yeah, man, no, I'm a Don Mills. I'm a Don Mills native, man.
Don Mills.
Yeah, I'm a Don Mills native. So yeah, but I performed West, East, Brampton, GTA, if you will, as well abroad.
So who are your favorite artists, Toronto?
Toronto-wise?
Or who do you rate? And
I read a lot of people. One thing about me is I'm not. You know how Toronto has that funny mindset of crabs in a
oh boy,
bucket or
we talk about it every time.
Yeah, it's that weird stuff. I don't do that, right? Anybody that knows Jermal can honestly say, if I mess with your music, I support it, right?
Amen.
So, for me, the people that I rate, obviously, when it comes to the women, Layla Day is one of the dope ones. I love a Layla Day. Savannah Ray again is doing great things.
Yes. She's amazing.
Divine Light Body right now is.
Okay, so
you're gonna know her, right? Divine Light Body.
I like the name already.
Yeah, she's dope.
Okay.
Michelle, Sunray, and those are just the females, right? You talk about the males now. Never met the man a day in my life, but I think he's dope. What's the name? Dylan Sinclair. I think he's dope.
Yes, he's dope.
Travis Knight is another one. But not a lot of us, O Sound. There's a bunch of male older artists.
Dope.
There's a bunch of male
R&B
artists,
singers.
and I know for a fact, Aaron Ridge.
Yeah.
I know once I come off of this, I'm like, oh man, I could have said that person. But
yeah.
Toronto though does have a lot of talent. Toronto does have a lot of good R&B music to come out of it. And I always say when people want to say, oh, R&B is dead, it's not. It's just, I always say people aren't looking hard enough for it, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, man, those are some of the people that I listen to if you talk about Toronto music, right?
I love it. That was such a great list, guys.
And there's people I'm missing too. I promise.
Absolutely, but that was a really good list of.
Marley Unknown, there you go. Marley Unknown.
Marley Unknown?
Yeah, I got it. There's a lot of people. Right?
Just drop them in.
Yeah.
All right, so when did you actually start in music and how did you even get it? How did you even find your voice? And
traditional, I mean, if you want to say traditional or very common, I grew up singing in church, right?
Your church why?
Yeah, man, West Toronto Church of God, but that's how I grew up singing in church, right? And that's why I learned that appreciation, obviously the skill, technicalities and everything. But overall, that basic foundation of love for music, singing, and as well, even just the performance piece, right?
True.
Because I was singing competitively and everything. That's where it started. Okay. And from there, it just transcended, right? My older brother used to listen to a lot of, he was listening to R&B, hip hop, everything. He's 15 years older than me, so
okay, wow.
he was, so I'm, for me, I'm 6 years old and I'm singing next too close, right?
Boy.
Like I know what the hell's going on. But I'm singing it like I meant that, right? It's crazy.
No, that's so funny.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, right? But I was just introduced to a lot of music. There's actually a song, sorry, as I was singing that, there's a song, I don't even know who it's from. Song, Put It In Your Mouth. Just put it in your mouth. Yo,
stop it.
Yo, I must have been like, yo, 70. Hey, just in your mother. But anyway, the point is, though, the point is, like, I grew up around a lot of music, right? I grew up just soaking it in. That obviously within the combination of church, I think that's just where it fostered, right?
Yeah.
Just that love for it.
Yeah.
Singing at least, anyway.
And it feels like you have a natural stage presence and just performability. Like you know, just right now you're literally performing in the interview.
Yeah.
Where would you say is that like something that's just a part of Jermal, or is that like your family? It's lots of performers in your family, you know?
I'd say it's a combination of a few things. One, again, you know, you grew up singing in church, just naturally singing in front of people all the time.
True.
So without realizing it, you're doing that performance. You're getting comfortable with being in front of people and being vulnerable with people, right?
Being vulnerable.
And just naturally, as weird as it is, naturally I'm an introvert, but I just have the ability to be an extrovert, right? Where I can just, you know, talk to people, I can socialize or what have you. So I guess just naturally that ability to talk to people and just be very comfortable socializing.
And tall, dark, and handsome.
I guess, right? It helps. I like to think that helps, right? I like to think that helps. So for me, it's just naturally, man, just talking. I don't put too much on it, and I guess in a sense it just translates into the performance. And you know, I just try to make it natural. I feel good.
That's amazing. That's amazing. No, but okay. So I wanted to find out. So I know where you grew up. I know how you sort of got into this whole singing world in church. But then, where did you actually begin developing your own sound?
The artistry, yeah. That would have been back more in like seriously 2018, right? Before that, you try and you write a 1-2 song in high school. You try to write a song for a girl and fold that up. And,
wow.
Come on.
Did you do that?
Of course I was singing to girls in high school. It's
wow.
crazy. But I mean,
number one.
have to, right? Use your talent.
Yes. So did you get a girl?
Yeah.
You got yelled.
Of course.
Holy cow.
I won't say I got yelled at.
No,
but, you know,
so off of your love song.
The girls don't love the songs, yeah. Lyrics sucked. Now that I look at it, the lyrics sucked, but whatever. At the time,
trust me, that makes a girl feel sweet.
It was hitting. Okay. I promise you that.
All right.
So, I mean, but again, just from even with that, I would do some songs here, go to the studio. It's really just a waste. I wasn't doing nothing really serious with it. And then my boy, Yao, had a conversation with me back in 2018.
Yao?
Yeah.
Who's that? That sounds like Yao Major.
No, that's my boy Yao. Okay. He's actually one of my brand managers. So the person that does like my graphics, did my logo, all that stuff. Yeah, I feel like you might have met Yao. But the thing with him is, yeah, he just had that conversation with me to say, listen, yo, you're talented. You should just try it.
Do the thing.
Just try it, man. Like, and I think from that,
that's dope.
That one conversation, just having somebody just, say, yo, fam, you're dope and try the thing. That's kind of what just.
That kind of friend.
Yeah, man.
Is priceless.
1000%.
And just like what you were saying before with like the crab in the barrel thing that is permeated in the city, it's refreshing. Because I feel like I know this sounds, I always say this in almost all my interviews, but if we were in America, we'd have 10 of those friends.
Fact.
That's what I feel.
Fact.
I don't know.
No, you're right. It's I mean, you still get the hate in America.
Yeah, obviously.
But it's different. You're right. There definitely is more support.
Exactly.
Right? Especially when you come from the South. They support their own. They support their own a lot. Heavy. So. But
did you travel there to do anything musically? The States?
I would do stuff musically, yeah, but that was more like when I was in church and stuff.
Okay.
We go to competitions and everything in the States. Yeah, just kind of work my way from the outside in, if that makes any sense.
That's lit.
Yeah.
All right, that's lit. And so, okay, so you know, Yao said, you know what, bro, take it serious. You're dope. And so you did that. When was that? Was that like 2020? 2018. Nice. Right before the COVID thing.
Yeah, end of 2018, and then 2019 kind of gear up, and then COVID hit.
And then COVID, yeah. So from since then, what have you dropped? What was your first singles? Tell me about that.
First single would have been, jeez, I remember back that far. Greater Hall Drive. Don't ask what year. That was like 2018, I think. 2019.
I know that song.
Yeah. So that would have been my first one, Greater Hall Drive. Had a couple singles.
What's Greater Hall Drive? Is that a real place? Like?
Yeah, Greater Hall Drive, for real. It's a road. Right. But it has a double entendre, right? So it's Greater Hall Drive, the actual physical, geographical place. But it's also supposed to replicate the Greater Hall Drive, where I'm driving down Greater Hall and I'm thinking about everything I'm talking about,
Got it.
right? So there's that, and then there's my first single to ever play on radio, which would have been Streets and 2. I lied, sorry, that's Streets and Part 1. Whoa, that's crazy.
Okay.
Streets and 1. Streets and 1. That would have been the first song, and then shortly after that, I released my first EP, which would have been Rhythm and Hues Volume 1. And then Rhythm and Hues Volume 2 after that. And then after that, it's just been singles.
Wow.
Right? But it's really just been a matter of releasing music, quality music. I know people sometimes get fixated on the quantity, especially with everything being a fad now, just microwave generation. But I still believe in qualitative over quantitative.
Amen.
Sometimes,
Let's go.
good music will last, and you see it all the time. With some of the songs you listen to now, anything Luther Vandross will punch. It doesn't matter what generation. Anything Michael Jackson, right? It punches. You play Billie Jean, you'll have somebody who's 89 dancing to it, right down to somebody who's 5 years old, right? So it just speaks to timeless music, and music that transcends generations. So I try to contribute to that.
You do.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You are definitely reviving and keeping R&B alive.
Thank you.
And and doing it in a new school nostalgia way, not just because you can't just do it nostalgic. It won't work.
No, you're gonna seem like an old foot.
You're
gonna seem like an old foot.
Where you get this old foot chat?
You seem like an old foot.
Old foot. So old foot means what?
Oh, old foot just means like an old head. Like you're out of touch, Everybody's uncle. Everybody has one of them old foot uncles. So who swears they're still hot, swears they can still hold down the dance, but really and truly they can't do anything.
Wow.
So that's the old foot.
All right. So we do not want to be an old foot.
Never.
But we do want to preserve those traditions.
Facts.
And those values.
Facts.
All right. So now, is there any projects that you're working on currently?
Projects, no. Singles.
Yes.
We just released. When did I release this? April 17th. Lost in Your Fire over the Breaking Away Riddim. That was produced by A.I.R.
Did you write? So
that was actually written by Sticky Wow.
Wow. And so he came to you and said, brother,
you
have to sing this for me.
Thank you. Yeah. So he, like, Sticky and I have known each other for a while. And he's tried to, it just never worked out. Like, he would always show me ideas, and for whatever reason, timing or it didn't feel right for whatever reason. This one he said, yo, brother, you have to sing this one. I said, all right, let me hear this. I heard it. I'm like, yo, this.
You like it?
Can be a thing still, right? And so, and it's a rhythm project. There you go. Come on.
It's already in my head.
It's a rhythm project too, right?
Yes.
So again, me being of Jamaican background and everything, again, it just only makes sense. I grew up listening to rhythm projects all the time, right?
But so let's talk about that, right?
Yeah.
Because rhythm. Okay, so this is a thing that, in my role as an artist manager, it is such a conundrum because half of my artists are dancehall artists, and half of my artists are hip hop, R&B, and the rhythm system is so different from the just traditional music industry.
Facts,
and how they make money and how that even. So you jumped on a rhythm.
Yeah, it's different too.
It's different.
I always feel like in the reggae and dancehall scene, right? It's kind of like, yo, producer will put out a rhythm, and every artist will hop on there and be the best artist win.
Right. Yes.
And be the best artist win.
Yes.
Whereas with hip hop or R&B, that's not as common because, like, yo, how dare you take my my production. But you still see things like that every so often. One out that comes to mind is Chris Brown's Back to Sleep was his name or something like that? Let me rock it back. I don't remember the name. Yes. I think it was Back to Sleep. Yes. But the point is though, different artists were hopping on the song. And I mind it was a remix and a remix, but still, that was kind of the same thing. When you have these challenges now, like the residuals challenge, where people are kind of adding their own verse, I guess in a sense,
it's kind of
sort of a rhythm thing.
Vibe.
I think though, it would be a dope infrastructure to maybe adopt in the sense of come up with a rhythm project, and I think it's a great way for artists to promote themselves, as well for the producers to promote their music, right? Because I get it, some people are thinking, well, everybody's singing or rapping or doing DJing on the same rhythm, right? At the same time, though, everybody's giving you different vibes, different, drop leaf rhythm. You have TOK's version, Morgan Heritage. You have Jacquard, which mash up that one rhythm, right? So it's just, all in all, like I said, me growing up, listening to so many rhythm projects.
That was easy for you to do.
Yeah, man, and believe it or not, even though reggae is or R&B is my foundation, reggae is actually my favorite genre of music. Right, so like I love Barry Salmon.
So would you do a reggae project, a whole like EP?
I would if the production's right.
Okay.
I would. Like and again, it's gonna be like that. When I say Barry Salmon, I always say that Barry Salmon is an R&B man on a reggae rhythm, right? So in that sense, where it's good R&B music, but just on a reggae.
On a reggae.
Yeah, like, and that's something Torontonians have been doing. Like Kim Davis, all them people have been doing that for years, right? So,
true. Yeah. That's very true. So okay, so you have the singles that you're working on, or that one single. What about anything that you're working on?
We have some more stuff coming.
You have more stuff?
Yeah.
Hot stuff for the summer?
I would like to think so. Yeah, so I have another song that will be coming out. I didn't want to say too much, but
come on.
I do have another song that will be coming out. It's entitled, what's it called? Do You.
Do You?
Yeah.
Is it sexy? What kind of do you?
I don't think it's do you. It's more of
or is it like do your thing?
It's more gonna be like so for those who know of the song, and if you don't, go Google it. My song Locomotive.
I know Locomotive.
Sense of that old school R&B type of bop. Yeah, that's what it is. So R&B.
Okay.
That's what it is.
That's lit.
But don't worry, we music that you can. Yeah, let me go drive down summertime and go windows down and go bump this. It's good music, man.
So what do you got coming for summer? Are you looking for performances? What are you doing for summer?
To be honest, I'm just back in the studio, just writing, building, right? So
so you're working on projects?
Yeah, I'll release here and there, but for the most part, it's more just building back up the criteria, right? And yeah, like you said, putting your head down and just doing it. If the right opportunity, performance-wise, comes up, yeah, I'll take it. But for the most part, I'm back in that building stage.
I see. I love it. So can you talk to us just a little bit, last question, about what, so, as I said in the beginning, you were my first successful. What was that process like? Because this is what this whole series is for. We just want to know, so you applied for the Factor Arts Development Grant and you got it.
Yep.
And how was that experience using the money, doing all the things that you put in your work plan,
I think it was a dope experience, and you know what I appreciated about you going through the whole exercise was just really mapping out yourself as an artist, right? I think often we look at things from a micro sense, right? A very tunnel vision when it comes to being an artist, just saying, okay, as a performer, I get up at 6, but there's so many other things. There's the business aspect of it, and the simple fact that we want people to invest in us, i.e. a music, a record label. We want these people to pour money into us. But half of us, we don't have our business put together. We don't even have a vision of how we see ourselves as artists, right? So if I have money, if I'm the bank, why the hell would I invest in it, right? So just going through that whole exercise, going through the questions when you ask me, okay, well, Jermal, who do you see yourself as? And, where do you want to be, and what type of music do you want to do, right? These little things, how to phrase it, right? These are all things that I'm learning, and just through it, just to really understand Jermal, not only as an artist, but Jermal as a business, right? So, I mean, and again, Factor, thank you very much.
Right.
They gave me the money. I was able to record my second EP.
Right.
Volume 2.
Amazing.
Off of that. And yeah, man. Again, I just always say, you know, there's a lot of money out there, especially in Canada. So our infrastructure is good in that sense.
In that sense.
Where yeah, you can get free money, but I always say like artists, a lot of artists, you have very basic preliminary conversations. You ask them, okay, do you have a soul can? They don't even know what the hell soul can is.
Right.
So right off the bat, I'm like, okay, something's
We're
wrong.
not, right.
So yeah, man, I would say that one, apply for grants. Two, it's a great exercise just to understand yourself better as an artist.
Right.
And three, you should damn do with you, man.
Facts.
So come on.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
So last question. Sorry, I'm terrible. Because I just thought of it. Last time I saw you was at Brampton Rose Theater.
Yeah.
How was it working on that project with Jermal?
Jermaine, yeah, man. Shout out 410 Gem.
Big up 410 Gem.
Yeah, man. That's the dogs. That was my second one with them. I actually was on the first For the Love of the Hype showcase.
For the Love of the Hype.
Yeah, I was on the first one. Sorry, For the Love of Hype. I always put the dub. For the Love of Hype. I was on the first one. So again, when he asked me to come back for the second one, it's like, of course, right? And it's R&B. It's an R&B male edition. I have to get that, right? Yeah. So it was a dope experience, though. You know, handing out roses.
To the ladies, then?
Yeah, I didn't go with enough roses. I thought.
So how much roses you bring?
I want 1 dozen. I thought that would be enough, and I felt like backside. As I'm handing out the roses,
I said 2 dozen.
I said, yeah. So I'll keep that in mind for next time. But all in all, though, it was a dope experience. Loved it. And man, yeah, Jermaine, that's the dogs.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming out.
I appreciate you.
Honestly, I can't wait till we get you back in here again. Update us on what's going on. Tell us about the new drops.
New music is forwarded, but in the meantime, I'm going to tell all of y'all, tell your mother, tell your pappy, tell your grandmother, tell your friend next door. Lost in Your Fire by Jermal, Jermal. That's available everywhere. Go check out the music video, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't, because it's just good music, man. It's great music. Come on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now I'm gonna stop wearing my sunglasses inside. That's crazy.
Let's get a.
Thank you.